And we are live. Welcome to Claret and Big Blue, the only podcast probably on the internet dedicated to the New York Giants and West Ham United. That's right, football and football, balls for everyone's tastes. My name is Mike Fish, and as always, I am joined by Alex Middleton. Alex, how you doing?
I'm doing great, man. How are you doing?
I'm okay. We're a little bit more subdued than we were last week
A,
after a
a
double
little bit
win.
more so, but it was like I guess you already know the results listening to this, but like the loss on Saturday was then kind of, I felt like it was a little bit made up for by the Giants win on Sunday. Whereas had it been in reverse, when you're going back into the regular work week on a loss, like that's a little bit harder. Like, because I had that high that it was an upset win. You weren't supposed to do it. And then it was just like, all right, cool. Like, that shouldn't have happened. I feel like Saturday's kind of gone, even though it's not for West Ham. For me personally, I was a little bit in a better mood because the Sunday was a little bit easier to get through.
I was in a terrible mood on Saturday because a little insight. So my wife, she has her own.
My wife.
She has her own plant business where she grows and sells her own plants.
It's weed, right? Yeah, all right.
We'll cut that part. That's definitely coming in the future.
Well, y'all got it legalized now, don't y'all?
Exactly. So January,
okay,
we're popping off.
Smart. You got to get ahead of it.
So we were making deliveries on Saturday, which was like driving all around, and I was not looking forward to that, if I'm honest. So before we did that, I was allowed to watch the West Ham game, and so that happened, and I was like, well, this is shit, and now I've got to drive around New Jersey delivering these plants and stuff. But whatever. But if you are listening and you do want some plants in the North Jersey, New York City area, at Reeland Vines, VREELAND Vines on Instagram. Just a little cheap plug for the wife. Keep her happy. It's Christmas.
There you go. It's the holiday season. People like plants.
What was your other than the sport? What was your weekend like? Did you get up to any interesting adventures?
I mean, it was mostly just like soccer, college football, NFL, pretty much. I won some money on Sunday. Like, nobody really cares about my bets, but I crushed it. Probably the best weekend I had betting on the year.
Was you betting on NFL or college? No, college.
I'd say NFL. I think we went 10-4.
Woo.
10-4, not too bad. Then I've kind of been crushing it in Champions League too, if we're getting back into the week. But Champions League, 2 solid weeks so far. But again, nobody cares. I bet Lazio was the only one that didn't win. Today I took Leipzig, Red Bull Leipzig to beat Man U. It was a little revenge game, I thought, for me personally.
I enjoyed that.
And then I had Juventus to win against Barcelona, and those all pretty much cashed. I had Dortmund. I also had Dortmund, and Dortmund got a win. But Lazio was the only one that didn't cash. So that was pretty cool. And Champions League's been pretty good. And like every year there's like a couple of groups that you give a shit about where you're like, oh, okay, I know these teams. But like I don't know who Shakhtar Donetsk is. So like I'm not really as interested in that. Or like Zenith was playing today and I found out that was in Russia.
Love a bit of Zenith.
Yeah, Zenith doesn't seem Russian at all, but like it's cool. It's a cool name. But like this was like Barcelona, Juventus. You had like I know who I like Leipzig because I like Tyler Adams, and then you got like Dortmund. You had some of like the name brand teams that were playing, so that was good to see, especially when they kind of play each other.
Yeah, I always kind of don't get invested, especially because West Ham are never in there. I don't get invested in Champions League.
It's the beauty of it. You don't get upset by West Ham, and you just hate Tottenham no matter what they do.
But obviously, I'm assuming you have to substitute. I mean, I'm not going to get anyone in trouble here, but do you legally stream or do you do the CBS All Access?
Oh, dude, CBS All Access, bro. I got Big Brother. Like, so you can watch Big Brother live feeds on that. And everybody's always like, why do you keep that? I'm like, because it's like $5 a month. I don't give a shit. I forget to turn it off anyways. And I forget to turn it back on. And then I'd be like, why can't I watch Big Brother when the summer rolls around? So I just pay $5 a month for the year. And then like, this is a brand new thing. We're like, oh, by the way, you can stream it on CBS All Access. So just one added thing to having CBS All Access.
Yeah, I used the free trial to watch the semifinals and final last season. And then I watched that Star Trek Picard. Are you a Trekkie, secret Trekkie?
No, but I've heard that is a good show.
It was a very good show, and then I cancelled it. But maybe I might re-up it for the knockouts of the Champions League.
Yeah, I think that's gonna start in the beginning of the year. I want to say.
So yeah, January.
I'm still not used to like the other like cups and tournaments besides like the World League. Cup's easy to keep up with, and then Premier League I get.
Yeah, there's way too many. And like I think we mentioned it in maybe the first episode, maybe when they're going to be introducing a third one next year, a third European competition, which is going to be ridiculous. But no one's.
Yay! It'll be like the NIT tournament in college basketball, where you're like, all right, well, you guys didn't make the tournament, but
how would you like to see the
another
Latvian
tournament
Premier League champions play?
Yeah, I'm a pass.
But we're going to move on because we are venturing on. No spoilers, we're going to get to Giants later, but they are venturing to the playoffs, no doubt.
Probably the Super Bowl.
For the home, well, let's not get too far ahead, but
probably the Super Bowl.
I'm talking about betting odds. I was looking at that. 60, for my term, 66-1, 6,600 plus or whatever for Giants to win the Super Bowl. It's pretty good odds.
Why not fire on that? Why not fire on that?
But we're looking at a home drawing in the wild card. And I was thinking, home field advantage, but there's no fans. But who knows? Maybe there will be fans because the COVID vaccine is slowly coming out. So before we dive into sports, I wanted to get into this COVID thing. Because
we're talking COVID today, fellas.
COVID, because apparently, I don't know if you've heard this, listeners, but it's been a hot topic for a couple of months.
A couple of people have been mentioning it, yeah.
It's been mentioned a couple of times. But
people are saying.
I've read on the bank of knowledge that is Twitter. A few people have been mentioning about the vaccine.
Basically, a news station. Twitter.
Yeah, it's where you get your facts. Like Wikipedia,
that's facts only.
Twitter.
That is 100% reputable. Everything you read on Twitter.
Obviously, a lot of people are saying,
just look at our president.
I'm not going to get the vaccine because of blah, 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 blah. What's your view on that? Like, if they say, because obviously regular Joes like me and you aren't going to get this vaccine anytime soon. We're going to be back of the line.
Oh, buddy, I'm going to find an illegal market and I'm going to take so many vaccines. It's going to be crazy. I'm going to take the vaccine 30 times.
That answers my question. Because a lot of people are saying, I'm not going to get, like, they think it's like some kind of video game was, I'm not going to get it until they get the kinks out of it or the bugs out of it.
It's not an iPhone.
Yeah, I'm going to wait for the second patch to come out.
I'll wait for the COVID vaccine S to come out in July.
COVID 19.2. I'm waiting for that one to come out.
The COVID 19X.
It's now smaller, but
right.
It's better camera though. It's got a great camera.
Well, it's funny that people are like, well, they have the Pfizer one, and then they have the, I don't know the other names of the other ones, but I know Pfizer has one. And like, well, now you're going to have to decide which one you want to take. I'm like, I'm taking them both.
Yeah,
I don't fucking care. Like, oh, really? One's 90%, the other's 92%. Well, if I'm not like a mathematician, but
you're going to be 182%.
Oh, hey, I like my chances then.
Yeah.
That's what you call a defense. And I don't know if you know anything, but we are Giants fans. Defense does win championships sometimes.
It's like our religion.
So pretty much, yeah, I'm a defensive kind of guy. If I can get double the COVID vaccine, I'm doing it. I don't care.
But the most fun one I've seen is the one where it's the government trying to plant microchips in us. And they're going to track it.
Those people are great.
Like, do they still think we're in the 1980s where...
Yes. But these are also the people that are like, why won't you vaccinate your kids? Vaccinate your kids if you want to send them to school, idiots. And they're like, don't touch me with that vaccine. You're like, you guys are becoming the thing you hate. You are becoming the thing that you wanted to destroy.
My favorite.
Which I think is actually a little bit poetic if you look at it.
It's like when they vaccinate. I don't know if they still do this now because I'm old as fuck, but... Where it's like, why we still need vaccines? There's no such thing as polio anymore. It's like, because of the vaccine.
Because we vaccinated against it.
But also, it's like...
You know what might happen if we all get the COVID vaccine? Probably there might not be as much COVID. I'm not a scientist, but I tend to
everyone
trust
gets vaccinated.
scientists. And Bill Nye, he says things. I grew like you, like in school. You don't know. Do you know who Bill Nye is?
I know of him now. I've learned of his works since moving to America.
Your wife has probably told you, right? Where she was like, yeah, every time you had a substitute teacher in science, you're like, we're rolling on the TV and Bill Nye is what we're watching. Like, I love Bill Nye. So many people love Bill Nye because it meant you weren't doing shit in school that day, but watching Bill Nye. And he's like, we're going to put like baking soda in here. And then like he'd blow stuff up and you're like, yeah, it's fucking sick. I didn't want to learn science, but I'm watching science now. So Bill Nye says something, I'm in.
Did you watch his Netflix show that was like released? Was it like 3 years ago?
No, I'm not that crazy, but like I didn't have a substitute teacher to put it on. I'm not gonna willingly go out of my way to watch like a Bill Nye show.
I'm not gonna win it.
But like, if he's on Twitter, on a TikTok or something, I'll check it out.
But yeah, the tracking thing always makes me laugh, is because going back almost like to iPhones.
You have an iPhone,
exactly,
you have a computer.
Pretty much everyone carries a tracking device around them, at least one of them, every single day.
There was a show on CBS one time. I can't remember what it was called. It was like Hunted or whatever, but it was like a game. It was like a one-off that they did, and all these people like they were in groups of two, and they were like, "All right, go!" And they gave them however much money they had, but they had their cards and stuff, and they had so much cash that they started with, and they had to see how far you could go without the people from the show that were like ex-FBI people being able to track you down. And it was like all it was like, boom, you used your credit card at this one place. You went to an ATM. Found you, you're in Philadelphia, let's find him. And then like they would circle you like they were going to capture you, but like they didn't really arrest you. And it was just like the longest person made it like 2 days.
But yeah, like the people that say that they don't want to be tracked by the
you're
government.
Tracked. Everybody's tracked.
One, they say that, but then they tag themselves every fucking where they go, and they post pictures of their eggs when they have brunch and shit like that.
And they tag where they're at.
Yeah, and also, this come across my mind today. Even if I was that kind of person who's like, the government's trying to track. The government doesn't give a shit about me. Who am I? Like, I'm pretty sure
I'm not doing anything that interesting.
I'm pretty sure they're not worried that I'm at Wendy's at 9 p.m.
And honestly, that joke about having like a government agent watching each person or whatever, like my government agent is like, shut the fuck up about the Giants, dude. I don't care. And they're probably just like if you think about an FBI agent has to watch you. We do a lot of like, we do this show, I do it in my other show, you do your other show. And we're talking about our teams a lot. And like in the beginning, they're just like, this guy is delusional, thinking the Giants have a chance at all. And then it's like, all right, now he's just sad. Now he's a little suicidal. All right, now is he buying into these idiots? Okay. All right. He bought in. Oh, he hates Evan Ingram. He hates Evan. Oh, he's buying back in. He said, okay. Oh, damn it. Oh, maybe. All right. They're on a run. They're on like such a wild ride. So shout out to my FBI agent that's watching / listening to me right now.
I feel bad about your FBI agent when he's watching you watching Big Brother. That's like Inception shit. That is.
Dude, that is true. He's like, he's doing what I'm doing, man.
Whoa, man. He probably loves his job. He got a good guy.
I feel like that would be a weird job. You got to watch something like everything that people are doing. You know, like that would get weird after a while.
But yeah,
it'd be like the Truman Show,
except less interesting.
Less people would know about it,
especially now. So he's just sitting at home again.
Yeah, this last year has really sucked.
So if you learn anything from this episode, get the vaccine and also do something interesting. Keep your FBI agent going. He's got a job as well.
He's bored too.
Or her.
And put on a show. Or her. Yeah, exactly. We don't want to be non-inclusive. Speaking of COVID, though, before we move on, because I know we have 2 games we got to talk about, but did you see, like, UK was the first to get it, and the second person to get it in the world, I believe, was William Shakespeare. It was like a 90-year-old man named William Shakespeare.
Oh, I thought it was a 90-year-old woman that was the first person.
No, well, there was like, she was the first. Then the second guy was William Shakespeare.
Was he Like, was his name
Not
William Shakespeare, or did
his
he
name
look
was
like-
William Shakespeare. No, he was just looking like an old guy, but like his name was William Shakespeare, and I was like, hey, that's pretty crazy.
You know, he was never going to get that vaccine until they saw his name. They were like, this would be
They're
a
like,
good for the news
ooh,
story.
Shakespeare, let's do it. Yeah. So Billy Shakespeare, good to see that he's vaccinated.
So if you do want the vaccine, you want it sooner,
Change
your name to something interesting. Right?
Mine is going to be Barack Obama. That's what I'll change it to. That'll be
good ones. See, for some reason, the first name to come to mind was David Hasselhoff, but I don't think anyone.
David Hasselhoff is also a really good one. He probably needs more things than just a vaccine.
But I think, and a hamburger when he's hammered. But I think on the list of like, if they were to rank people, it's important enough to get a vaccine. I think Barack Obama might be higher than Hasselhoff.
It's like Obama, then Hasselhoff, probably like 1 and 2, really.
Maybe like William Shatner in between.
William Shatner, yeah, and then Nancy Grace at the very bottom.
William Shatner's still alive, right? He's still a thing.
Yes, but if he's not, may he rest in peace. Yeah. And if he is, may he rest in peace when he passes.
Spoiler alert.
Right.
We'll replay this.
Now we don't have to do it. That's what we're talking about. Saving time, Mike. We're saving time, right?
We'll just sit here for a couple of hours, like just listening.
Now we don't have to record a trilogy, a tribute. We're just like back from December 8th, 2020. Here we go. Boom. And when he passes, may he rest in peace. Like, nailed it. Let's go. Throw it onto YouTube.
Samuel Jackson. We hardly knew ye.
Gone too soon.
Too soon. But hopefully not. Anyway. So, talking about death, let's talk about West Ham.
It's not death. Don't. Okay? Should we have won? I think so. Or at least gotten a draw, because we should have, like, realistically, we could have had, like, 4 goals in the first half.
That's the thing. So, as the old adage says, I don't know if it's a thing over here, but in England, describe a football, they always say it's a game of 2 halves. And ultimately, I think
that's how all of the games are here, really. Or baseball's not. Or hockey.
Game of 9 halves.
Of 9 halves. I don't think you know what a half is.
When in Rome. But yeah, ultimately, I think we were the better side in the first half, and we didn't take our chances, and they were the better team in the second half, and they did. The bastards.
I would say we were better in the first half of the first half. It was like we got to that 20, 25-minute mark, and then just we're like, oh, hey, we should let them get back into the game. And I do like our strategy of like, hey, let's just fuck them up early. I like that game. I like because it worked for us in the last game. So immediately I'm like, we're going to probably win. Look at this. We're up 1-0 against Man U. We're just going to keep on marching. And then no. And then what really fucked us was I hate how they do the live table on Premier League, because it's like, no, don't do that.
Because they put us, they was like, oh, West Ham are
third. We were third. And I was like, all right, we're probably going to win the league now. Like at that, because I sold myself, and I'm an idiot. I'm telling everyone listening, I'm obviously an idiot. But like for that 30, 40 seconds, I was like, we're probably going to win the Premier League now. Like we're so hot. We're going to beat Man U. Who's going to stop us at this point? And then it just fell apart. And I was like, what did I expect? And it's, like fortune's always hiding. We started our podcast by talking about that. And it was like, what did I expect? It had gone on too long where you're like, West Ham usually disappoints me by now. And then they disappointed you. And you're like, what did I expect?
But they went a while. They
it was a while. Streak. So I was like, I can't be mad. I'm not mad. I'm upset we didn't get the win. I thought we should have.
What annoyed me was that I'm a big supporter of Mr. Sebastian Haller.
Mm-hmm. How did he do? Not great.
And then he goes through on goal and then trips over the grass.
Fucking dude, man. What? Like, that's what you can't. I don't like about him. You can't trust him.
So what we need to do is play on. Like, we need to cut the grass. Like,
just right
better.
There.
Like, we need to strip it down for the next game.
Maybe like some turf.
Maybe that AstroTurf.
Do they have that in soccer?
I think only in does MLS. Some of those still have AstroTurf.
Well, I guess in EPL nobody has AstroTurf.
No, I don't think you're allowed it. Which is
Makes sense.
good because I remember playing on AstroTurf when I was a wee little lad in school, and that shit hurts when you fall on it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not great. The new stuff that they have is pretty cool. It's like grass-like, but it's not the same thing.
Although, did you know, fun fact, we're always learning on this show, did you know that AstroTurf isn't the official name of that product?
AstroTurf was like Kleenex, basically, where it was just like the popular one at one point, and then everybody started calling it that.
No, and I'm pointing my pen again. No, that wasn't. So I can't remember what the actual name of it was, but because the Houston
Astros
was the first place to actually use it, the nickname became AstroTurf, and it's stuck worldwide. And so there's people in England in schools playing on AstroTurf who have no idea why it's called AstroTurf. Now they know, because obviously they listen to the show because we're huge.
Artificial turf.
Artificial.
Or do they say artificial pitch or whatever over there?
Probably.
I don't know. I don't know.
They have to break for their tea breaks. Stupid English people.
But what did you think? I mean, Souček got a goal again, which is like, I think that was his second or third goal of the year. It doesn't feel like it's been his second or third goal of the year. It felt like he scored way more than that. But I love Souček.
He always looks awkward when he celebrates as well. He looks like he looks like Ricky Bobby, where he's like, I don't
like it's his first time. Yeah.
Like, he does like this shit. Like he's lifting invisible weights.
Right, yeah, it's weird. But if he can do whatever he wants if he keeps putting balls in the net. Like,
that's what she said.
That was about it. And we just never could we had our opportunities. We had a ton of shots. I don't know what the total was, but
Fornals had a couple of easy ones. He stuck one wide, side netting, and then he hit the post. We should have been like 4-5-0 up at the end of the first half.
Yeah, it was not ideal. Then Benny Hanna came in, and then again the same thing with Lanzini. Like I've told you, because he did it against Tottenham, I'm like, we're gonna win now. We're probably coming back. Thank God we sent Lanzini in there. And then,
I must have, when we went 3-1 down, even at the 85th minute, I was like, we're gonna pull this off. It's gonna be 3-3.
Yeah, 3-1 lead, most dangerous lead in soccer. That's what I always say. No one says that, but I always say that. And if it was a 4-1,
they're gonna say it now.
4-1 lead, I'd say 4-1 lead, most dangerous lead. That's just a little tip at the bar if you want to throw that out there. But it'd be like, this guy knows what he's talking about. I don't at all. I'm making it up.
Did you hear?
If you say things, as long as you say them convincingly, people believe it.
Talking of Man United, because Man United played today in the Champions League and they went 3-0 down to Red Bull. Or technically they're not called Red Bull, but they're Red Bull.
Leipzig.
And after the match, because they came back 3-2 but still lost, after the match, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said, how can you expect to let the other team get a 3-0 lead and come back to that? You can't come back after a 3-0 lead. And I was like, bitch, we did it against Tottenham.
Ever heard of West Ham v Tottenham? Guess not. Guess not.
That's why Man
United. And he calls himself a historian.
He does. Every day he says that.
Yeah.
He says, I'm a historian first, then a football manager second.
Actually, I never knew that. I thought that OGS on his jacket was Ole Gunnar Historian, and it was because he's such a historian.
I mean, it's on his LinkedIn. I mean, if you listen to
it,
check it.
And he's not he's obviously not keeping up to date. But I feel like we just got to move on from that. That's one of those that we're going to be like, haha, who cares? Because at the end of the year, if your losses come to teams like Man United and Liverpool, you can kind of live with that. As a West Ham fan at this point in West Ham.
The Arsenal one still stings, though, because how bad they've been. I'm like, how did we lose against them?
I agree.
Jesus.
But that was at a weird point with Arsenal. That was at a weird point for us still.
It was a weird time. There was hair growing where there wasn't hair before.
It was
so young.
But the Newcastle one really stung. That one really sucked, and it's like, even though Arsenal's like a name recognition, so like you look at Arsenal like, yeah, okay, we lost Arsenal, whatever. Like that doesn't sting as much, but like we can live with this one. We just can't keep it up. We got to fuck up Leeds this week, so that's what I think we're gonna do. But think we're gonna do that, I think we're gonna win 1-0.
The only I will say, I did say this to my farther. Whereas I at least we lost, but there was clear things that we could improve upon. Whereas I'd much rather that than lose and be just totally useless and be like pissed off. And like,
what was that game?
What
So I totally agree with you on that. And there is definitely stuff we can build on. I do kind of like, didn't Fabianski stop another one? Or no,
he made some very good saves in the game. I remember.
Yeah, he had it. It wasn't a PK, was it?
No. Funny enough, Mayo did not get a penalty in this game.
That was last. Yeah, you're right. I think they got one on this. I think they got one today. That's what I'm thinking of. But Fabianski looked good out there. I think I like Suchik. I like Ben Hana whenever he's out there.
Rice played very well.
Rice did. He definitely rebounded from that previous game, and then I don't know. Ben Johnson got to see some time out there. I was kind of surprised that he got checked in, but I wasn't upset with what he did in the very limited time he saw. I think we just got to move on to Leeds. I think we can do. We're gonna do better against Leeds. Leeds is not as good of a team, but the way they kind of spread you out, the way that Leeds kind of dominates the possession in a lot of ways, that I think like West Ham does seem like they get fatigued, and that is my big worry. That like I'm feeling it like it's gonna be a very low scoring game, like a 1-1 or 1-0 West Ham win or whatever. Like
I just hope that Antonio's fit. So we can.
I don't think he's gonna be. I feel like they said throughout the month, isn't it?
Oh, really? I didn't see that. Damn.
It's day to day or something.
I still, you can't live in the past, but I just wish that he would have been rested against Aston Villa, and then because I think it's not going to be the same thing, but if they went 1-1, 2-1 in the second half to Man United, I think then being able to have Antonio to bring on in the last 30 minutes could have been a very different game, but it is what it is. Yeah,
no, I agree with you. It would have been nice to have him to come in there. I definitely know that he should be starting at this point. Just you don't want to chance that.
But it does mean we desperately need to sign someone in January because
which means we probably won't.
There's no one.
We'll probably sell Allaire or some shit like that. Knowing West Ham, if you can fuck up a transfer window, we'll do it.
Because we can't loan anyone. Because we've got it's Ben. What's his name? Craig Dawson. Why did we sign him?
Yeah, he's not done anything.
He played today for the under-21s, even though he's 30 years old. But he played for the under-21s today. Like,
can you do that?
Yeah, I think in the under-21s you can technically use. I think it's 2 or 3 people above the age of 21. But the majority of the team has. But him and Yarmolenko played in the under-21s today. Because I think Yarmolenko had
Yarmo.
I think he had the vid. So I think he's just coming back after a little while.
Okay. He's just getting back in shape.
But nothing against Craig Dawson if you're listening. I'm sure you are. I don't mean anything against you. But what was the point of signing him?
We just don't know. We're just curious.
Because now we can't sign anyone else.
It's not you, it's us.
But so we've got Leeds on Friday, correct?
Friday, a little afternoon game.
Which means I'll be working, but I probably won't be. What's your prediction for that one?
I think 1-0 West Ham or 1-1 draw. Like I said, I think they're gonna spread it out. They're gonna dominate the time of possession. They're gonna dominate the. Is it time of possession or it's just they're gonna dominate possession? Is what they say in soccer. I'm still working on the lingo.
Percentage they normally stick it in. I don't do time.
Yeah, but I think they'll definitely. Is it Beelzeball? Is what they're calling it, or whatever it is. That's what they play, and I think they're going to be able to do that. Hopefully, we don't get too fatigued. We just got to put one past them at one point. But like I would also love like a 3-1 win or a 3-0 win. That would be awesome too. But I'm going to go 1-0 West Ham. I think it's a close one. Because why would they make it comfortable? We never make it comfortable ever.
Is it at Leeds? Are we playing Leeds at Leeds?
I don't know. Let me check.
I'm going to assume so because
at Leeds, yes.
At Leeds. And do you know if they're in? Do you know if they're in tier 2 or tier 3 of the the vid structure in England?
I am not
Have they got fans
up to
or no
date
fans?
on the English tiers that they are in. I know that West Ham can have 2,000 people because that happened last weekend.
Which is ridiculous. Don't get me started. That's another vid conversation we need. Why you can allow 2,000 fans at a 60,000 seat stadium, but then if you only have 10,000 seats, you're still allowed 2,000. Like, it doesn't make any. It should be percentage, but whatever.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yes, it's 2,000. That's it. That's just a number. So whether your stadium holds 10,000 or 100,000, you're only allowed 2,000 people in, which doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I'm glad people can go to games, though, man. I understand that, like I don't want to get too into the virus discussion and stuff like that, but it's like I understand the need for fans and a lot of people's opinions. I understand everything that everybody's doing, but at a certain point, like, people weren't meant to just be cooped up by themselves all the time. And I think that if you don't feel comfortable doing it, you don't have to do it. If you do feel comfortable going out and doing that stuff, I think you can. So, like, I'm glad that people are actually getting to go out to the games, and I think it's smart that they do have them in a very limited capacity. I didn't even know about the 2,000, no matter how many, but yeah, I think that 2,000 is a solid number. Like, even if you're in a 10,000 fan stadium, like, you can get some pretty socially distanced that way.
On the TV, you could hear the 2,000 in the 60,000 stadium for West Ham. You could hear them. I mean, yeah, you don't want to go down the rabbit hole of COVID shit, but I did just the math of it is, it doesn't make sense. Like, why, whatever.
Yeah, but just like watching the Champions League games today in the stadiums where there was nobody in it, it was like that Paris Saint-Germain thing. Like, there would have been no way to hear any of that stuff. Like, where they were able to break down, oh, well, in Romania, and this means this. Like, if they're fans, they wouldn't have had any of that stuff. But it's also, and like, Cristiano Ronaldo scored, and you could hear him yelling when he scored, and that was kind of cool. But, like, it's stupid. I don't care. I want some. He just you could just like, he was excited.
I'd love it.
But just
eat shit, bitch.
Probably said in Portuguese. I don't know. But it just, I think having actual fans there just adds to it. No matter what, like, no matter how many fans, it just helps. Just having that regular noise. And I know they pump in crowd noise and stuff, but it's like that's kind of artificial. Like on the Giants game, the Seahawks one, like, they tried to boo. Like, they, like, you can tell they have it queued up, like, boo, cheer, and like the Seahawks got a penalty and they cheered it, and I was like, no, somebody hit the wrong button. Because, like, then they would call stuff against the Seahawks and they were booing them, and I was like, see, like, somebody's just got a button, and I was like, that's got to be a weird job to be like, you are the crowd noise guy. You just
boo.
How do you feel like the crowd would react? Booing. Loud booze, medium boo. You just had the boo, like, it's like a lever.
Boo.
Yeah, we really want booze here. Okay, less booze. Just subdued booze.
Now I want that job.
That'd be a cool job. But it seems like it might be temporary.
There's no future in that.
So
you're going 1-0 West Ham. I'm gonna go 3-1 West Ham.
Fuck yeah. I hope yours is right. I'd rather be 3-1.
Because I am amazing.
I just don't feel,
which we're going to get to in a second.
Yeah, you are. You've been on a heater lately, as we call it in the gambling world.
But sorry, I feel that it's going to be like, I think Leeds are going to get the first goal. I think we're going to go 1-0 down. And then I just think there's going to be like an inspired comeback, and we're just going to win 3-1.
And then I can't wait till next week. We'll be like, remember how you called that, and we love this team and how good they are? Like, that would be the best.
And I'm going to clip this and do that slow-mo shit again. Just to memory.
You should. That's what predictions are for.
Although
and
apparently,
if we don't get it right, then you don't ever hear it again.
No, which, like, we're not going to talk about our predictions.
We burn it.
we didn't predict the Man United game. We forgot.
We made no predictions.
No, we forgot that one. But so Giants. Let's talk about happy things, happy thoughts, happy things. Giants. So yeah, we pretty much crushed it.
Positive vibes only. You made sure that I had to stick to that last week. and positive vibes worked. We only are sending positive vibes out, and I don't know. We'll get to Kyler Murray here in a little bit, but like just fucking crushed it. We absolutely crushed it. That game maybe like again, Giants West Ham can't ever make it easy. That whole like I was shitting myself that whole last fourth quarter, just like well, I don't know. I feel like we might blow us. It's too close. We have 2 scores. Just definitely don't let him. Okay, we let him score. Fuck. And they just figured it out. They got it done. The defense, like, I'm just not used to having a defense that's good. It's been a while.
It has.
So being like, oh, wow, they really did. They stopped Russell Wilson. Wow. Okay.
1 touchdown, which I
predicted. Like we can, yeah, you did predict that. You crushed that prediction. But like, I love, like, the offensive line dominated the second half. That defensive line was absolutely dominant. Jabril Peppers, Again, the combination of Peppers and Blake Martinez, like I love those guys. Those guys, 90% of our tackles, it feels like a ton of tackles come from just those guys. We get up a safety, kind of rebounded from that, and it was funny seeing a 5-0 score at halftime. That was interesting.
Wait, I'm trying
I just don't see that
because I think in Bradbury had a good game.
Who did?
Bradbury.
James Bradbury, yeah. And like so let's get this out of the way. The DK Metcalf, like, oh, stiff-armed him. Wow, amazing. Like, fuck you, Mark Schlereth. And you're fucking just slobbing on the knob of the Seahawks. Like, he's like, oh, wow. He just stiff-armed him into the crust of the earth. Incredible. I mean, this guy, he's stinking good. He's great. And I was like, James Bradbury made the tackle.
Yeah.
Like, he got stiff-armed so hard that he held on and tackled you and gave you no more. Like, I don't give a fuck if you stiff-arm me. You got tackled, bro.
And you lost.
Derrick Henry stiff-arms people and murders that person and then just moves on down the field. Like, that's what a stiff-arm is to me. Yes, technically, it was a stiff-arm. It was a good stiff-arm.
But
James Bradbury made the tackle.
It would have been great if he'd have done it and then continued on another 10, 20 yards.
He didn't. And that's what the whole stiff-arm beauty is, that you truck somebody, you knock them over, and you keep on moving.
But they loved that because they showed the slow-mo replay of him flexing afterwards and shit like that. Wasn't that great?
You had like a 7-yard completion that you caught and got a first down. Like, shut up. You had 4 catches all day. 4 catches all fucking day. James Bradbury, shut his bitch ass down. And it was like James Bradbury didn't get like all the plays that Jabril Peppers or Blake Martinez did because he was too busy shutting down the number 1 wide receiver. We got the sneakiest corners, like sneaky good corners. I love that.
The only reason, because he did go under the radar on the TV broadcast, but the main reason I noticed him because I can't not watch him because of the IV that he has next to his name. He's the 4th.
Yeah, Bradbury the 4th.
So every time there's a replay and he's in it, my eyes just drawn to it for some reason. I don't know why. But also,
I always think it's weird when they do that. I mean, it's not really weird because, like, it's cool. Like, your dad was the senior, so you're the junior. But I do think it's funny when people add senior to their jersey. Like, it was Steve Smith Senior.
And it was like, now we know your kid's name. Thanks.
Yeah, congrats on the sex.
Talking about, I feel inadequate because if you're not watching this on YouTube, but you're listening to this on Spotify, I feel very inadequate because I'm waving when I'm making a point, I'm pointing a pen. Alex has a fucking judge's gavel.
Oh yeah. Oh, I forgot I was even doing it. I just had what I was holding next to me.
That's how you make points.
Check out Bet the House, guys, on my Instagram every Friday. 8-1 last 2 weeks if you want to make some money. That's how you do it. And you hammer home those bets.
Because
pretty good.
Claret Big Blue is the Pass the Gravy podcast.
Pass the Gravy podcast. Yeah, man.
I did come up with a better one than that. I couldn't remember.
Pass the Gravy Network. Pass the Gravy Podcast Network podcast.
Oh,
Pass the Gravy Family.
I think I used, this is a Pass the Gravy presentation. Ooh.
I like that. I do like that. And I'm now liking waving the gavel around more. All right, I'm going to stop doing that because I'm just going to get distracted. But DK Metcalf, good.
Yep.
The stiff arm was overrated. I mean, the stiff arm, like that was on Twitter was like, "Oh my goodness!" And it's like you guys love DK Metcalf, and I like DK Metcalf too, but James Bradbury made the tackle, so shut up.
Yeah,
Show some respect to James Bradbury for
You
going
can-
through probably what's going to give him CTE and still making the tackle.
You can stiff arm as much as you like, but you didn't win, so who gives a shit?
Exactly. The only stiff arm I like is the one in the score column, and it was 17-12 in my team's favor.
Oh,
So suck on that. Yeah, Colt McCoy was the most decent game manager. Didn't really. I think he had 100 yards. His pick came off of Evan Ingram's hands, so I don't even credit that to him. Also noted this during the game on Twitter, I believe. I think Evan Ingram has had like 75 interceptions come off of his hands this year alone. It feels like. I don't know the specifics. It feels like it's around 75 because that guy either makes a catch where you're like, okay, I kind of don't hate you anymore, or he's just like, oh, oops. And even if it's like not a catchable ball, he just reaches his hand out to deflect it enough to where a defender's going to catch it and then go the other way. And it was just like, what the fuck are you doing with that, man?
what? Okay, so what was your opinion on? Because I think it was early on. I think it was either maybe the first or the second quarter where McCoy threw the ball to him, and he went to catch it. It hit his hands and then bounced off and went nowhere. And everyone was like, "Oh, well, that was Colt McCoy's fault. He should have thrown it the other side." I was like, "But the ball was in his hands,
And you're a receiver.
he caught it.
Receive the ball.
Like if his hands were
I hate
here
him.
on this
I hate
side
him.
and the ball went the other
Send him
side,
send him to the fucking moon. Get him out of here. I don't want him. I know, like, well, you know, he could change the game, and he's been he's probably been our leading receiver this year, and he does make amazing plays. I fucking hate him. The guy's a goddamn liability. He's a liability every time he's out there. The turnover we had was all because of him. How many we lose to the Philadelphia Eagles because of him. We have a 2-game essentially lead on the Washington football team. If it's not because he can't catch a pass against the Eagles, last week against the Bengals, he gets the fumble that gets knocked out of his hands because he can't fucking secure the football. He's a fucking liability, and we've been winning games with him doing these things, so it's not as noticeable.
In spite of him.
But when we were losing games, it was like they were just gigantic clouds hanging over those losses. We're like, well, if that hadn't happened, this could have happened. If that hadn't happened, this could have happened. And like, luckily, the defense has been there to help cover up all of the flaws the offense has had. I mean, Daniel Jones not being there definitely didn't help. I thought Colt McCoy was serviceable. Jason Garrett did a good job.
He was very good for what he.
Jason Garrett put him in situations that he knew he could succeed in, where he was like, we're not going to make you throw down the field. We're just going to kind of dink and dunk and get the little inside routes.
Just keep giving the ball.
And the one time he really goes deep, he goes to fucking Evan Ingram and he gets picked. So fuck you, Evan Ingram. Again, he's my Sebastian Hilaire on the Giants.
Yeah, no, I can see that
but I hate him probably more than I hate Sebastian Hilaire.
Pretty much all the losses we've had this season is because we could have won against the Eagles if it wasn't for Evan Ingram.
Minus the 49ers game. Yeah, we were all in contention, and usually Evan Ingram has had some sort of fuck up.
But what I did love,
an amazing play,
and I very much enjoyed in the Giants, because we were very much offensively one-dimensional, pretty much. It was just snap, give it to Gorman or give it to Morris, and just run. Like, we pretty much did that every play, pretty much. And yet, they couldn't stop us. I guess they maybe figured us out, but they just couldn't stop us.
It felt like, why are we still doing this? But it was like, well, it's working. Okay. And then they sort of stopped it for a little bit. And then Colt was killing him with those little dink and dunks up the inside. And then Gallman had that huge run. Or no, it was Morris that had that huge run. And then the offensive line looked incredible, I thought, especially in the second half. And just the fact that, you could see Seattle was getting tight. There's nothing better than when your team's offense is playing and you can see that the other team's defense is just getting gassed. And the Giants were doing that. And usually it's on the other end. Like, the Giants are usually the team that's gassed while they're giving up a lead or just getting blown out even more. And this week it was the Giants. You're like, dude, they are fucking tired. Their hands on their knees. Like, they don't want this. And the Wayne train is like, he's probably gone next year. I'm accepting that. You know, Saquon's going to get his job back, and Altman's probably going to get the one big contract he can if somebody wants to give it to him. I would love to have him back, but I think somebody's going to pay him some money, and I'm all for him just going out. He's balling out right now, and he's looked good. He's looked really good.
Yeah, because I mean, normally you can play stats to tell whatever story you want to tell, but I think the stat like 16 carries, averaging 8.4 yards. That's ridiculous. I think
it's pretty awesome. I think Morris had he had 2 touchdowns, right?
Morris did. Morris had 1.
Well, he had 1 receiving. He had 1 receiving.
Right. Okay.
That was what it was. But yeah, Giants looked really good, man, and that's one of those games where I'm like, please don't be frauds. Please don't be frauds. Please don't be frauds. Like, if you can beat the Seahawks, you can beat anybody.
Well, I think as it stands. I mean, it's
not the Chiefs, but you can probably beat anybody.
But I think, when we go to the playoffs, I think as it stands, I think we're due to play either the Seahawks or the Buccaneers.
Probably the Seahawks right now,
which I would definitely take.
I would too. If we played the Buccaneers, people forget 2007 first team we beat on the way to the Super Bowl, the Buccaneers. So I would be fine with, kind of going a similar route. You're probably going to have to beat the Packers in the NFC Championship, I would assume. I'm cool doing that.
Talking about Super Bowl runs, though, there was a little bit of flashbacks to our 2012 Super Bowl win when what's his name? The Seahawks quarterback, brain fart.
Hasselbeck?
No, the Seahawks quarterback, Russell Wilson.
Oh, now I thought you meant back then.
Sorry.
Okay.
When
I guess he was still the quarterback then. Huh?
When he did the Hail Mary throw at the end,
the Hail Mary, yeah,
and we batted it away, and I was like, oh, that reminded me of that Super Bowl win.
Oh, okay, yeah. That was cool. But they didn't make it easy at all. That whole drive, it was like they have an opportunity to come back and get it done. But I mean, Russell Wilson can do whatever he wants at any given time. So you can stop a guy like him. I feel really confident. I'm just like, what do you think our odds are against the Chiefs in the Super Bowl? Like, really, like at this point, my head is just gone. I've sold it. I've sold my soul for this Giants team this year. Just give me something good. Let's make these playoffs. It's a shitty division, but I don't fucking care. Let's get into the postseason. Joe Judge, awesome. Everybody loves Joe Judge. Everybody has to love Joe Judge if you're a Giants fan or a Giants player. They all seem to love him.
You can't hate the man for what he's done this year. That's all.
He's been really good for the organization. I think he's kind of changing the culture there, and I hope that this is just something that's going to stay around for a long time. But a win like this was definitely the biggest win of his coaching career. And that moves us on to another NFC West team that we play this
Cardinals,
week.
Who I think
Murray, similar into being one of the hottest quarterbacks in the league. A lot of people are saying to Russell Wilson, and I think if we get to Russell Wilson, can we get Kyler? Probably.
Because we're playing the Cardinals, I think, at the right time. Because aren't they coming off? Was it 3 losses in a row?
They are 4 losses in a row now, a Hail Mary away from 5 losses in a row.
So I'm feeling pretty confident. But before we get on to our predictions of the Cardinals games, do you ever watch those kind of talking head shows like Skip and Shannon and things like that?
I try not to, but sometimes yes.
Because I watched a clip yesterday. I think I posted it on my Twitter. Is where you could tell like Shannon, because Skip's like a Cowboys fan, and Shannon was like eating it up. He was loving it after the Giants won, and they were now first in the NFC East. And Skip was like saying, "Oh well, we've got the third easiest run for the rest of the season," and then blah blah blah. And then this Shannon was like leaning back in his chair. It's like, "But you know the Giants are going to beat you in New York, right?" And Skip was like, "No, but Giants gonna beat you." It's like skip this all.
Man, that would be the best way to just like put an exclamation mark on the season if we just fucking kicked their ass at the end of it. I would love nothing more than that.
I am worried that that's where it's gonna come down. Some fuckery is gonna come around where it's gonna be Giants Cowboys, winner goes to the playoffs.
My friend was telling me, I think excuse me, bleep that part out. Washington football team.
Yeah.
But my friend was texting me yesterday when they upset the Steelers, and he was like, "Fuck, dude. Well, the one time we have the upset, they gotta get one too." And I was like, "Dude, all we gotta do is just win the next game on your schedule." I believe in the Giants at this point. I've not believed in the Giants in a very, very long time until recently, and I think we can beat the Cardinals, dude. And also, I don't feel like I've mentioned that I have cursed Kyler Murray previously before the season started at an XFL game. He snubbed me, and I yelled at him that he was no Daniel Jones and he was never going to win a Super Bowl, and I put a curse on him at that point in time. And the Kyler curse, I think, is clearly real. I have cursed Kyler Murray this year. So far, that looks pretty good. I have cursed the Houston Astros after they were mean to me about the Yankees. After some people on Twitter were mean to me about the Yankees losing, the Astros then went on to they came back and then lost in the 7th game. So fuck them. Then I cursed the Cowboys before the season. Dak went down. Cowboys look at him now. Cursed the Philadelphia Eagles after we lost to the Eagles. What happened? They just unraveled. People are saying I have these weird powers, and I don't like to bring them up that often. But the Kyler curse, you think his team's going to come in and fuck up my team? I don't think so, buddy. It's going to be extra cursey this weekend, dude.
You don't want
Kyler, fuck you. Fuck you, Kyler. You don't got a shot, dude. Don't cut this part out if they win. But fuck Kyler Murray, dude. I hope the Giants defense sacks them like 50 times and intercepts him a ton.
And may or may not snap his leg. But I'm not going to put that out there.
We don't say that. That would be, God forbid.
I hope
as
that
Tony Soprano says, God forbid.
Wink, wink.
God forbid.
Yeah. But.
Just remember that, guys. That's why I talked over it, so I covered it. You can hear it, but they can't hear it at the same time.
So what's your prediction then? Cardinals, Giants?
I feel like the Cardinals are going to put up some points, but I still think, I love our defense. I feel like this is very dependent on if Daniel starts.
Yeah, that is true.
Give Danny Dimes the keys. Let Danny, hopefully he's healthy and he can come back. And I think if he is, I think our offense clicks. I think if Colt's there, I think our offense can do the same thing. I think that they're not as good defensively on the line as the Seahawks really were. So that bodes better in our opinion. Cliff Kingsbury is kind of an idiot. He's not a great coach.
No.
He's like the definition of failing upwards. He couldn't coach at Texas Tech, but he had Patrick Mahomes, so he got an NFL job. He literally got fired from Texas Tech, then got an NFL job, and then got Kyler Murray, who was good for a couple games, and people kind of started to figure him out. So now, oh, shit. He's not that good anymore. But I think positive vibes only. We're going to go and win this one 28. No, because we got Graham's going to kick a couple field goals, right? Let's say it'll be 27.
He needs to redeem himself after missing one.
Missed an extra point, not a field goal.
True.
Not a field goal. 27-20, because we can't make it. 27-20, 27-21. 27-20. 27-20.
Sure. Is that your final answer? I'm logging it in. 27-20. You think so? Is that Daniel Jones or is that 27 points?
Daniel Jones. So I'm gonna put that running game. The running game is what we're gonna. Dude, fuck it. Colt's gonna go off, dude. Colts could go off too. I don't care. Whoever our quarterback is, I'm riding with him. Colt's undefeated anyway, so it's like, why not?
He is.
And then also, we didn't mention this yet, but Daniel Jones, another week without turning the ball over. Didn't play, but still didn't turn the ball over. In 4 straight weeks.
All right, I'm going to go 24-17 Giants.
Okay. Again, can't make it easy on us.
No. But
I'll take the win.
knowing Giants, it's going to be like we're going to go 24 points ahead, and then they're going to come back and make us nervous. But
we are underdogs in this. If you're betting, I believe the last line I saw was -2.5 or +2.5 for us. The Cardinals -2.5 was what the line looked like to me.
we was underdogs last game, and what do we do?
Right? How'd that work? We're good being underdogs. I don't care.
I do see now we are finally favorites to win the NFC East, which doesn't mean
well. If only some people got him at plus 1250, you would have been set. Nice little payday coming for me.
Whoop, whoop.
So 24-17 and 27-20 are our predictions for this week. All right. I like it. I'm feeling good about it. Fuck Kyler Murray, dude.
Yes. And then we will be back next week. Bask in our glory once.
2 wins. Double wins again. I like double wins. This week with the Giants was great.
I'm feeling
West Ham and the Giants. I'm feeling double win week, all right?
Double win.
Double win, damn it. Let's do it, boys.
Gavel it.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Double win. Pull out your hammers. Smash. Giants, West Ham, double win. Take it to the bank. And I knocked over things.
So now, let's wrap this shit up as we always do. Always follow our socials at Claret Big Blue or at CBB Pod on Twitter and Instagram. And then you follow Alex by following
at Alex J. Middleton on Instagram and Twitter and on I'm about to sneeze. All right.
You got the vid.
I don't have the vid. I don't have the vid. At Alex J. Middleton on Instagram and Twitter. Follow my podcast, the other podcast, the parent podcast, I guess, to this podcast.
Podcast Daddy.
Podcast Daddy, at Pass the Gravy Pod on Instagram and Twitter. Go like it on Facebook. And then if you're in the Houston area or you feel like coming into town, we have our 7th annual Christmas Spooktacular for Pass the Gravy going down at Southern Star Brewing Company on Saturday, December 19th. That's not this Saturday. It's next Saturday. But we got 3 live bands, a live podcast going down at 1:30. It's going to be socially distanced. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be a lot of fun. 3525 North Fraser Street. Go follow us on Facebook, and you can see the event page there.
And I may or may not have looked it up, but flights from New York to Houston, pretty cheap. So,
but I heard the wife maybe not as cool with it.
It's the vid.
The vid. No, I get it. I am not upset with anybody that can't come because of anything like that.
I think going to the event would be fine. It's just getting from New York to Houston that's more worrisome.
Yeah. No, like once you get there, yeah, you'd be good.
Fuck. But because then you drink alcohol, and as we all know, alcohol kills germs. And
people forget that.
Just keep drinking, people.
Science.
Keep drinking. And now, your moment of zen. That's the daily show. We're going to end on.
Yeah.
We have to find a cool ending. So if you want to give us an idea of a cool ending way to end this podcast, let us know. But until I'm just going to fade out like the Incredible Hulk. like
the Sopranos. Just do it right when I say, don't stop. And then you fade it right there.
And that's going to be the end.